Happy Wednesday. I am back from a wonderful trip for my birthday, and I wanted to go live this Wednesday because I missed you all on Monday. And so I'm so excited to be here with you on Wednesday for a brief moment to talk about what your next 100 days look like and what it should look like for you as you prepare to unleash yourself and become your best version and really just prepare for 2025, close out a strong 2024 to make sure that you're able to really just master all that you are and all that you're going to be in this lifetime, right? Because we're only here this one cycle around the sun, if you will, in this life, and we want to make sure that we're getting the most of it. So if you see me, I'm trying to make sure that my video is live on Facebook because I was having some technical difficulties. So I always just try to check it now. And so the important thing is to really just think about how you want to level yourself up in 2024. And I'm going to take you through a few steps and a few things that you can do to do that. It'll take just a couple of minutes. And but I want you to grab a pen and a paper or take out your phone. Well, if you're probably watching me on your phone, well, take out something to kind of catch what it is that you'd like, capture what it is you'd like to do and prepare for 2025, because now is when 2025 begins. This is when we can start to build the momentum to really just move into the next year with some power, some purpose, and some powerful momentum that will allow you to just be all that you can be. So, give me one second. I'm just trying to make sure I'm live on Facebook and on YouTube. And then I'm going to get right into it because I want to make sure that you're able to participate and on YouTube and get these gems, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all about leveling up. How do I paste? Okay. All right. So that's not gonna work. Anyway, so number one, first thing we want to do when we're thinking about leveling up, looking at what the next 100 days, I think we're at 99 now, might be like a day off because I was out of town. But it's important for us to talk about it because we're in the end of September. We're going into October. We got the last quarter, October, November, December. And the next thing you know, we're going to be in January. So, first thing I always like to do is try to reflect. It's been 9 months in this year. What happened this year that you feel like was amazing? What do you feel like were achievements that you have accomplished that you're proud of? What are things that you feel like you want to do more of and be better at? But you are thankful for being strong. So, an example for me is one of the things that occurred in 2023 was I was in a car accident and I wasn't able to walk. So this time last year, exactly this day, I wasn't able to walk. And I didn't begin walking on my own until January. And so I'm thinking the first thing I'm reflecting on is I'm being grateful that I can walk, I can stand, I can do these things on my own without assistive devices or anything like that. So when I reflect on my last months, which I'd like you to reflect on, I'm excited about just my physical growth, my mental growth, and being able to move forward. I'm also reflecting on the first 9 months of the year and really looking at it and saying, and being grateful for the tribe of people that I had surrounding me to support me physically, mentally, and emotionally to keep me strong during time when I wasn't able to do certain things. So you may or may not be able to look back at something as extreme as what I'm giving you an example of, but I wanted to share that with you because it's so important to just look back and be grateful about some things, even if they did have some trials attached to them. It doesn't mean there aren't things to be grateful for. It's what are the lessons that you learned, during that time. And that's why I can reflect on that as an achievement and as a gift because I'm stronger for having gone through it, right? And I have some notes. So I'm going to be looking down at them on my little piece of paper. The other thing I really feel excited and grateful for is really looking back and knowing that when I was physically able to, I moved about the country freely as much as I could. And so, again, for you, it may be different. I'm sharing some of mine to give you some ideas. I'm thankful to have been able to travel for business, to travel for pleasure, and to just see things and be somewhere I've never been before, or go back to somewhere I have been before and see it differently and experience it differently. And so, and I met so many awesome people along the way. I made some new friends. I met some people and connected with people that I feel like I've known them for months, but I feel like I've known them my whole lifetime. And it was just a matter of time of us just reconnecting as friends, as business partners, as colleagues. And so for me, it really just levels it up. Being grateful for the people in my life is important. But even, we don't always think about this. I'm even grateful for the people I had to release out of my life. And I say release because I am grateful for the relationships, but I know that they have come to an end. Is there a grief process? Yes, but I'm still grateful that I had the experience, the lessons, the connection, the reason for however we came together in friendship, whatever type of relationship it was, that they came to a close, and we both can be grateful for that closure in that relationship. Um, and I'm grateful. And the other thing to reflect on is that I learned to focus my energy on people who focus their energy on me. And let me say that again, focus my energy on people who focus their energy on me. Because a lot of times we can find ourselves in spaces and places where we're giving, 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 and we're not receiving, and we're empty. And we wonder why, because everyone that's surrounding us is always receiving from us, because we're giving time, we're giving money, we're giving energy, we're giving advice, we're giving spiritual advice, we're giving, we're just giving, giving, giving all the time. And then when we sit down and we need, there's no one to give back to us, because the people around us, for some reason, somehow, always need something, right? And so, again, we have to find ourselves in places where we're growing from those types of things. And the reflection is, the other thing is, the big reflection for me is super duper being hypersensitive and aware that every room I walk into, I have purpose. Every room I walk into, I have some purpose. Either I'm there to learn or I'm there to teach. But there's a purpose for me to be in that room. And I've been called to that room for whatever this time is, and to allow myself to be open to those lessons and use those lessons with purpose to move forward, and know that everyone I come in contact with, in whatever way, shape, or form it is that I'm the person that's uniquely qualified to deliver that message and serve those people so that they can be where they want to be. And Jim Rohn once said, be happy along your journey, where you are while you're in the journey. And even though you're pursuing new things. And so as we look at the next 100 days, we're going to be thinking about, what goals do we want to set? What lifestyle do we want to create? How do we want to level up our money so that all the things we want to do, we desire to do, can be stress-free because we've planned financially, right? And so that goes back to having gratitude, growing. Really, this is the time to be thinking about, what are your goals for 2025, right? Let's outline them. Let's decide, what do you want to do? Some common goals I hear from people is, I want to be debt free. I want to pay for my kids to go to college. I want to work on my retirement fund. I want to be financially free and not have to work. And this is for my younger people who want to be, they want to get lit. They want to have the finances, and they want to have the life that they dream of, right? They want to live free and still have finances, right? But what do we have to do with your finances to reset it, to get you back into a place where you're reaching that strategy, right? Have you really taken a look at, what types of accounts you have set up that are building compound interest for you? Are you taking a look at what the effective interest rate is on what you're paying on the debt that you own? Are you taking a look at what your tax strategies are going to be going into 2025 to reduce the amount of taxes that you're paying, either in 2025 and years beyond? Do you have a roadmap for eliminating your debt? Do you have any of these things? What are those goals? What is the plan, right? Because when we plan to fail, we fail. When we fail to plan, we plan to fail, basically. It's like, you don't have an agreement. I tell some of my married clients, or my clients who are about to get married, if you do not get a prenuptial agreement or put and postnuptial documents in place before you get married, you already have one. The government gave it to you. Whatever the laws are in your state are the rules. And that's the same thing when you don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan, someone else will make a plan for you, and that will be the plan that you're following. And it probably will make you miserable. So think about what that is. What is the thing that we want to do? How do you want to reset your finances? Do you want to be prepared for um, the holiday season coming up? It's less than 3 months from the holiday. Or do you want to spend your last 2 to 3 paychecks running around trying to spend it on holiday gifts and celebrating when you have 3 to 4 months out to be planning for it, so that it's not so painful financially, or you're not digging yourself into debt to celebrate and enjoy the holiday season, and then come January, now you're trying to clean up thousands and thousands of dollars of debt, or so you think, because it may be more based on whatever your effective interest rate is. And we have to dig deep into it. And I went deep into that today in a workshop with a professional organization that I serve with. And really, not knowing the effective interest rate on your debt is probably the one of the top two things that's costing you money financially, and actually regulating your lifestyle, because it's taking away your money that you need to use for your lifestyle. So really, really, really think about it. I put some resources together. You'll see here, www.RichAuntieSecrets.com. You can go and get the digital handbook on how to get your finances right. It is I put it on sale, and it's a great resource for you to use to help you to kind of reset your finances, but you want to plan for it. If you don't plan for it, you won't have it. So in 2025, what are the things you want to start? Now, a lot of people come to me and say, hey, I want to get out of debt. I love it, but they want to get out of debt tomorrow. The problem is you didn't get into debt in 24 hours. You didn't get into debt in 1 year. But I can help you with a roadmap to get you out of debt between 3 to 9 years, depending on how much debt you have. So these are the things you want to think about. That's what we want. But if you don't have a plan, again, you won't get there. So then what are you doing with your finances? Have you done a review of your finances? Have you checked you? You're the spender, right? You're the one spending the money. Have you checked you? And you're like, right, how do I check me? How do I check my finances? Easy. Go download your bank statement, 1 to 2 months, your bank statement, credit card statement, line of credit, anywhere you're spending money from, get the statement. They should give you an Excel file, or maybe a CSV, which is a version of Excel file. You want to download that and then sort it by the person you paid or where you spent the money, and get an idea of how much money you're spending doing what. And that'll give you an idea of what you need to adjust. It's a simple formula. Now, is it painless? Absolutely not. Because you're going to have to face your own demons. And the demons are the ones that are in your finances. You're going to have to face where you may be spending money that is a leak, that you think, oh, I don't have enough money to do these things. But if you really look at where you're swiping your cards, you'll realize that maybe if I didn't swipe so much here, that I could have this done or that done. So think about it, right? I'll give you a real example. I do it all the time for myself. I do it at least every quarter, just to kind of get a gauge of, am I being too free with how I'm spending money, or am I being too too frugal, or in areas that I consider to be important. And so for me, things that I consider to be important are the ability to travel, the ability to go places and do things that I want to do when I decide I want to do them. Obviously, regular expenses paid. Do I have money available when an opportunity presents itself that I deem worthy of me investing in order to level up to make more money? Those things are important to me. Making sure I don't miss opportunities that will cost me more in the long run for not being able to participate in. You have to decide what that means for you. And then, what are you doing to take care of yourself? And I know I put it number 3 in this conversation today, but what are you doing to take care of yourself? Because when we don't take care of ourselves, everything suffers. So if you're not spending money on eating healthy food, maybe getting a personal trainer or going to the gym And using the gym membership, don't just pay for it, because sometimes we just pay for it. The gym membership companies are just making money hand over fist, because we pay all year long and we go, and a lot of people go for 1 month, January. So decide, well, what are you doing for self care? What are you doing mentally, physically, spiritually? How are you allowing yourself to sit still? Are you able to step back and learn, and step back and gear up so that you can propel yourself forward? I'll give you an example. Recently, when I was out of town celebrating my birthday, which I was very excited to be out of the country celebrating my birthday. We went on this amazing ATV tour. I was so excited to do it. It was like the thrill of a lifetime. I don't know why I had never really done it myself before. I've ridden in one where someone else was driving, but I didn't drive. And so this one was a little bit different. It was a four-wheeler. It was all me. I had the gears, all that. I know how to drive stick. My first car was a stick. It was 89 Volkswagen Fox, and I can ride that joint on rails around circles and hills and mountains. Okay. And so the guy gives me the instructions on this ATV. It's not a real stick, it's a push button. Right. And so I should be able to do this. So I'm halfway pay attention to the guy's instructions. Right. So we're driving. We're just, it was like it was a long trip. It was like 2 hours. It was exciting. It was exhilarating. I could see the whole country. We're going through the rainforest. We're going through these hills and mountains and valleys. And we get to this one stream of water. And I'm in gear 5. And because I'm getting it. I'm trying to go fast. I'm trying to keep up with the pack, people in front of me. I hit the water and I stalled out in the middle of the water. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm stuck. And the guy says, I told you to gear down to 3. You're going too fast. I was like, oh. And the reality was it hadn't registered me that I needed to slow down to pull through a difficult terrain on that ATV trail we were on. So I had to gear back down too, just for the vehicle to be able to pull me forward. And I give you that example because sometimes we're going so hard, we're going so fast, we're taking the kids to school, we're going to work, we're running the business, we're getting to after school activities with the kids, we're running the grandkids around, we're picking them up from school, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing all these things and we're moving fast. And we never take the opportunity to gear back down to figure out what's going on, to put us in the right gear that's going to pull us forward and make us go faster sometimes. And so we have to sometimes gear back. And that's what taking a look at what your next 100 days are going to look like will do for you, is allow you to kind of step back, reflect, take a look at things you've done, and think about things you want to tweak a little bit to move forward. So think about it in that instance. Let's see. Hey, Allison. But you want to think about how you do the gearing up. But the big thing in the gearing up is that self-care and that relation and that well-being, right? And then how are you handling your relationships? Everyone always talks about relationships and they think it's about romantic relationships only. But how are you handling your just regular people to people relationships? Family members, co-workers, uh, colleagues, fraternity, sorority members, organizations you're in, church friends, spiritual groups, whatever it is. How are you managing in those relationships? Are you having challenges? Are there things you need to change? Are there ways that you can tweak them and by them, I mean, maybe you have to change you, right? Because we can't change anybody else. Maybe you have to adjust your perspective. And, earlier I talked a little bit about, giving gratitude for relationships that I have moved on from, and being thankful for the lessons that I've learned. I had a friend I literally called and just said, "Hey, I just want to call and say thank you, and I appreciate you and all that you've done for me and all the places and spaces we've been and the things that have brought us here to this point. But I want to make sure I'm grateful for you." And that was the last conversation that we're going to have, right? There's no arguments. It's just showing gratitude, because we have to remember that sometimes things start and sometimes things end. But when they end, they do something else starts. We have to make room and make space. And so building those relationships is important. So go back to that. I talked a little bit about already the holiday spending plan. Make a list. Who do you want to make sure that you honor during this holiday season with the use of your finances? Because it should be an honor for someone to receive something from you that you spent your finances from. spend your finances, because we've talked about it on many, many occasions on this segment. And that is that, your finances are a reflection of your energy, because your energy is what you use to earn that money. So who do you want to honor with your life's energy that you spent earning that money to celebrate during the holidays? What are the things you want to make sure that you do? What are the things you want to make sure you don't do? Where are the places you want to celebrate? Having a good plan, not in a rush kind of way, but in a thoughtful, methodical way to kind of figure out, is this what I want to do and how I want to celebrate? And the next thing is this, is declutter and organize. And you're probably like, wait a minute, Saran, now you're really getting in my business. Well, I am. Declutter and organize. Because when you declutter and organize your physical space, your mind automatically starts to clear and organize as well. And if you don't believe me, just try it. Start with one drawer. Start with one room. Start with one thing in your life that you feel like is cluttered or disorganized, and put it in order, and then see how you feel. Because that's going to allow you to think about what else you want to put in order, what else you want to do. And the funniest thing is, my dad called me earlier like 15 different times, which I appreciate absolutely, being able to receive calls from my dad, because he's doing this thing at the dealership. He says, daughter, I'm going to be a minimalist like you. And I was like, no, you're not. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to be a minimalist like you. I said, you're not. I said, just do one area. Because my dad is a cool dude. He's a boomer, born in the 50s. He's got stuff. He got stuff that he loves and he has for a reason. He got a huge comic book collection and all these things. If I need to know something about me, I'm like, Dad, do you have a copy of whatever it is? And he'll email. He's currently emailing me now some stuff I asked him for. And so the thing is that sometimes we have to release some stuff with gratitude and allow it to leave our lives to make space for something new to come in. And so think about that process of decluttering and organizing as you saying to God that, hey, I want to bring in this thing, whatever that dream is, whatever that hope is, whatever that want is, but I want to make space for it. And so you have to declutter to do that. And you have to release some things and let it go. And again, nobody's telling you to go declutter your whole house in one weekend. That's a lot of pressure, right? But again, as someone who is a practicing minimalist, I go through it all the time. I'll get rid of stuff every couple of months. I'm like, change my mind. I don't want any of this. But you have to decide how that works for you. You have to find a space to do it and find things that you aren't so emotionally attached to first to do. No one's telling you to go declutter your photos. That's the first thing you declutter. You know why? Because you're going to get stuck in the memories and the joy and all the stuff that comes along with pictures. It's not where you start. That's probably the last place you go, right? Honestly, I've never decluttered my pictures. I still have pictures all the way back to as long as I can remember, from the time I started taking my own pictures in high school. So, but I like pictures. So, and I'm a scrapbooker by trade. So I have a lot of pictures. But find other places and things to do. For me, I got a bunch of gym clothes. Do I go to the gym? Yeah. But I have to decide if I like those gym clothes anymore. Do they make me feel good when I go work out? Because I want to feel good when I go work out, because I'm there with a purpose and I want to have some joy while I'm doing it. Right. So think about that. And then get strategic. If you're a business owner, you want to be planning for your business next year, planning your finances, planning your strategies, planning your marketing, getting these things in place, getting resources, delegating things, moving them around. We won't go so deep into the business because I know a lot of people aren't business owners, but I do got something for the business owners at one point. We're going to have a discussion. And what do you want to do to grow personally? What is it that you want to expand your mind on personally? And for some people, I say personal development, but some people some people say, hey, I want to read a chapter in the Bible a day or whatever it is. And I think if you do a chapter a day, it ends up being like 365 or whatever it is. Or some people say, hey, I want to read, if they're Muslim, they want to read the Quran or whatever your religious or spiritual beliefs are. You want to do that, or you want to learn more about astrology, numerology, or whatever it is, if that's your thing, set some personal goals, right? Or maybe you want to go on a healing journey. And there's no start time and no end time to that. But you want to be conscious that you're doing it and you're going on that journey. But what is the development, the thing you want to develop for your life, right? And the thing I always miss out, how to celebrate yourself during the process of whatever the goal is that you're doing. How are you going to celebrate? We've been programmed to celebrate with food, more outings, and more debt, spending money shopping or whatever. But you could celebrate by just saying, "Oh my God, congratulations, Saran. You got up and you walked this morning. I'm so proud of you." See how I just talked to myself and I'm talking to you? That's it. And that was free. But find that out. Or maybe you want to create what we call a running note in your phone using the Notes app. If you're I don't know what it's called on Android. Sorry, Android users. I'm an iPhone girl. But in the notes, right? For the day, what was my win for the day? What do I feel like was the big win for today? And what I want to focus on tomorrow? But writing down daily wins, if you challenge yourself to do that for just the next 21 days, and 21 days is how long it takes to create a habit. That's why I purposely said 21 days. And you write down what those wins are, then you'll start to see patterns and it'll increase your confidence and it'll make you feel better about yourself and where you're going and what you're doing. So celebrate those small wins. Your win could be, I didn't cuss the person out who cut me off when I was driving in the city. I live in the DMV. It's a lot of cutting off happening. And sometimes your blood pressure could get elevated while you're driving. And that's not a good thing. But you said, maybe they have somewhere else to go that's more important than where I'm going. Regardless of how important a place you were actually going, it probably was. But you want to just give some grace and be able to do that. And that also allows you to be able to reflect on, how good things are and how things are moving forward. And I'll give you an example with the celebrating small wins. I'm working with a business coach because I'm a professional and I want to level up my life too. And one of the things my business coach said for us is we have to, we talk to him. We talked in the group every week and we share what our wins are. And when I started doing that in April, I was literally writing each day 5, 7, 10 wins. And I was like, wait, I'm making more progress than I thought I was making because I wasn't tracking it. And so when you start tracking the small wins or the small things that I got done, even if on your to-do list it was wash the laundry, put that down. You won. You got the laundry done. Now, here's the real win. If you wash the clothes, dry the clothes, folded the clothes, and put them away all on the same day, that's a huge win. And ladies, you know what I'm talking about. You know that's a huge win because I got some sheets in the dryer right now. I can't tell you how long they've been in the dryer, but they're dry. But think about it. What is a win for you? We take for granted the day-to-day mundane things, but they're wins. So, and be mindful and reflect. So again, just want you to start thinking about what your next 100 days look like so you can get into good momentum and good flow coming into 2025 so you can really take 2025 and propel yourself to a place of greatness that you want to achieve, not one that I set for you or someone else set, but what did you set for you as a goal to achieve, right? So there's two things I'm going to share with you before I end this live. And that is this one. I'm so excited to share with you two things. One is a digital financial workbook, which you can go to www.RichAuntieSecrets.com. You can order the workbook. It is $27. It will be delivered to you immediately in your inbox. And you can start working on your finances and getting ready to prepare for 2025. That is number one. You don't want to miss out on the Rich Auntie Secrets because it's going to help you to level up your finances and take you to the next place and the next place that you want to be in. Second, and I'm super excited about it, And I was really hesitant to do it, but everyone was like, no, we need some resources from you. Give us something. So I'm giving it to you. I'm going to be talking about it more. And it's going to allow you to set some of the goals that we talked about, to outline some different things. It's going to challenge you. And then you can come into my Facebook group and we can talk about it, or you can even set up a one-on-one consultation and we can start working on your roadmap. But really, I want you to be able to get this digital workbook to help you to get ready to plan. And we want to also do that. The second thing is I am a published author. See, the book is here. This is the first hard copy that I just picked up today because the book launched on September 20th. So my birthday gift to myself was I became an author in this anthology, which is a group of amazing leading women. And I am one of the co-authors in the book. And my chapter is in here. And I'm going to try to read it without my glasses. It is here. Get to the page. I can see the numbers without my glasses. That's exciting. And my chapter is Leadership Through Loss, a sister mom's tale of leadership and strength. And so in it, I go through my leadership journey, how I came to be in leadership roles in a lot of different spaces. And it started way sooner than college and places like that. I talk about that and take you through the lessons learned and how you can level up and take yourself to be a leading lady or gentleman if you get the book. The hard copy link will be coming out soon, but I will give you the link to the digital copy. And just so you know, this book was launched on Friday, September 20th on Barnes and Noble as an ebook. We started off ranking at number 78,000 out of 178,000. This book is now ranked number 16 on Barnes and Noble. So you want to be sure to go and get it. The link is in the comments for you to get it and download. You can still download the ebook for the nominal cost of $199. The hard copies will obviously be more expensive. I'm going to be posting the hard copy link hopefully by close of week, because I was out of the country when the book launched, and we still hit number 16. We shared with so many people. It was a labor of love to have on my birthday, my 49th birthday, to become an author less than 24 hours before my birthday. And that's exciting. It's a big deal to me because many people know and some don't. But on my birthday, my actual birthday last year at 5:30 p.m., I was in a head-on collision. It still makes me tear up because I almost died and I almost didn't walk away. And this book wouldn't exist with my face on it had that happened that day last year on my birthday. And so I talked briefly about it, but this book is not about that accident. This is about leadership. But I want to make sure you know how important it is to get it. I hope that you will support by getting the digital copy. And I'll be back next week. I'll be back by next week with the hard copy link to it. And I'll be back on my regular schedule on Mondays at 8:30 p.m. going live. This week is Life Insurance Awareness Month. So we're giving you all the tea on how to use it to build generational wealth, how to use it to do all the investing and all the things you want to do in life. And so I have a special guest on Monday as well. He's from Dominica. That's how he says it. And he's an amazing, amazing gentleman. So I'm excited to have him. I think he might be the first guy on my podcast, but I'm excited again. Download the book, Destiny Expose. You're going to go to barnesandnoble.com. I'll put the link in the chat. Get the ebook. The hard copy is here because my family members and my family group chat was like, we don't want a digital copy. They want a hard copy. So the hard copies are coming. And this is my author's copy. I have a couple author's copies. And so I'm excited about it. You want to level up on your finances? Go to www.RichAuntieSecrets.com and buy the Rich Auntie Secrets workbook. That is going to help you begin your financial journey to get you in a place where you can level up for 2025 and plan for the rest of 2024. But again, it's up to you. I can give you the secret sauce. I can come on here and tell you what to do all day and twice on Sunday. But if you never take any action, that's on you. So again, I'm excited about my new book. I'm excited about the workbook that you'll be able to get in a digital format. And I'm excited to see you grow and level up in this season of your life, because if not now, then when? If not now, then when? And I say that because when I walked away, and I, bunny ears, walked away from that car accident last year, and they put me in the ambulance, and they took the other person away because he passed away. I said, how many things will not exist in the world because you didn't take a chance? Because you were afraid, because you were dealing with imposter syndrome, because you didn't think you were good enough, strong enough, smart enough, whatever. And I said no more, and that I'm going to just put it all out there. And if you think it's trash, that's your business. If you love it, that's your business. But I'm going to do what I'm called to do, which is to share, 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 and give from my heart, and give the resources, the time, the space, and put it out into the atmosphere. Because the most important thing is that if we are here as spiritual beings and we're only here for a very short time, then the only thing that will be left will be the solid things that we do and we leave in the atmosphere. Because 100 years from now, will any of this even exist? And so we want to make sure we leave our mark, and we want to make sure we honor the God within us by taking the spiritual urgings that you're given and acting on them, even if you're afraid. Because it just is what it is. Who knows? You could change somebody's life in one instance. So that's all I have for today. I was going to do this Monday from the rainforest, but I was exhausted Monday night, when I tell you. But the rainforest was amazing, and I will definitely go back to Costa Rica, to the beautiful, is a beautiful country. So this has been another episode of Going from Chaos to Calm with your finances. I'm your girl Saran. Peace, love, and light. Let's get your money right.